Okay, this section is a little bit complicated, but I tried to simplify it as best as I could. So the first thing we need to do is create two folders, one enemy and one friend, and put the friend in the friend and the enemy in the enemy. Now I want to start with the friend. Take your friend and create a child blueprint. Now in the friend, I need you to come and create this handy function called check for another enemy in range. Now when we do this, we're going to get all actors S of class, and we're going to find all the enemies in the level, and then we're going to check to see if the enemy is alive or not, and then we're going to see if our enemy is with our enemy site. Now, if this is the first enemy we found, then the closest distance is going to be defaulted to 0. And if that is so, then it's the closest one by default. This also means that we found a target, and then we'll set the target. The next time this runs through, if the distance is less than the previous closest distance, that means that it is closer than that one, and it will be set as the new target. After all of that is done, it will reset the closest distance to 0, and it will return whether or not it found a target. Now, grab all the code that's in here, except for the begin play, and put it into your child. Now, a few things have changed. Just pay attention. Now, the first thing we need to know. Hold on, I forgot something. Let's go back here. Our enemy site and our range. Come here. Set the custom. No physics collisions. Overlap only the pawn. Now, for this character, she has a little montage at the beginning. And so to get around a few things, I give her 5 seconds to do her montage, and I have her in combat. And what this does is it prevents her from entering combat and moving to a target. So give her 5 seconds, then exit combat, then get your player reference. Ignore this for the moment. Now you notice there's no path here. Originally, I used to come over here to follow the player. So now, I created this custom event, and here's a little loop. Here's my player reference, and as long as you're not in combat, keep going on this loop. Now, or set the target. Make sure we're not in combat already. Make sure the guy isn't dead already. If he's not dead, then they're our target. Then we are in combat. Then we're going to move to target. Now I created this one here. Move to target. Here's this check for enemy node again. Ignore it for now, but be aware of its location. Here's a loop that makes sure that Aurora can only taunt once every 20 seconds, so she doesn't talk too much. And here we move to the actual attack. We still check for damage as we did before. Check the target. Now here, we can take our target and we can check to see if they're dead or not. If they are not dead, move to target. We reset back to here. Now, if they are dead, laugh about it. And here is our check for enemy. Notice I had that on a fail here and at the beginning of play. So that will use this function that we just created, which will return whether or not it found a new target. If it did find a target, reset the new target flag and move to the target. Move to your new target. If a target was not found, go back to following, exit combat, and go back to following the player. So, quickly again, during these first 5 seconds, this isn't gonna trigger. So we're gonna check right away if there's an enemy or not. And then that's gonna tell us to either move to our target or follow the player. So now, whenever you create a new friend, you can either duplicate the child or create another child blueprint of the friend. Now let's do our enemy. Same thing here. We have our enemy class. I created, these are both childs. I came here, and we have to check for another enemy in range, except this time, we're finding all the friends. And once again, we're taking all of the code, and I put it into this guy here, which is not a free one, but it's going to work the same. I have my begin play here, same as before, but here's the difference. I added this restart there, And then here, instead of a pawn, we set that target. And then I have my move to target mode here. And the way this is set up, if they see the player first, or if they detect the friend first, that is who their target is going to be. If for some reason they can't move to this target, they're just going to keep trying. This is the same. Now this is changed to target. So now it can damage the player or the friend. And then once again, we have our check for enemy in range. And it either moves to the new enemy if it finds it, or it restarts its loop. So now, oh, and don't forget, which I just did to show you, to take our enemy sight and our range and make sure they're set to overlap only the pawn. This is going to save us major problems later with our magic. So now what we can do, I have my friend out here. Sorry, I have my friend out here, and she has an enemy sight of 2,000, and she does 100 damage. The enemies, they have a sight of 1,000, and they only do 20 damage. So she can take 5 of their hits. So now we can have the AI versus the AI. Let's see how she does. Click on here, and let's go to simulate. See? First she does her montage.
I'll enjoy taking everything you have. Got you,
Now
little devil.
I want to note, these
That was
witches,
nice.
they don't attack.
Give it a
All
rest.
my witches do is run
Is
around.
that 3 times now?
So as long as there's an enemy in her range,
That was nice.
she's going to chase him down.
I'm looking for a good fight. No one who could give me that. Visit again soon,
But if
won't
there's
you?
no one else in her range, she's going to try to get back to the player.
Oh!
And now she's going
out
to go back to
cold.
the player. But she can't get to the player, so now she's going to go back to 0, 0, 0. But wasn't that cool? Let's watch that one more time. Let me just show you this one real quick. She has the ability to take damage, and right now I just have her wandering around. But see, each different person you make now can have their own script. But they're all considered an enemy or a friend. So now we can watch our AI fight again. Hold on. I'm gonna get closer and watch this montage.
I'll add your gear to my collection. Got you, you little devil. When you get to the underworld, tell them who sent you. Hush now, love. You've done enough.
And
Couldn't let that go on now, could we?
that's gonna be it for her. Now she's gonna try to get back to the player. Not bad. So that's where we're gonna end that one. I'll see you in the next video.